And we're back with some more oxygen not included on Rime. And today we're going to get set about making our duplicants' lives a lot easier. They've worked hard, really, really hard, and they deserve some comforts. First thing I've done is I've turned this off. There's no point keeping this active. It was we don't need the regolith and we don't need the power. So I think what I'm going to do is just sweep all of this junk up and we'll dump all the regolith over here. Once that's done, it should hopefully free up a few frames so that we can get around to some serious upgrades on our recreational buildings. I think I'm going to grab a cup of tea while this goes on. It's going to take them a little while. There's a lot of regolith. We look at under filtration medium, we've got 11,720 tons. Yeah, I'm going to grab a cup of tea. I'll be back in a wee bit. Tea was delicious. All the cleaning is done. That worked out pretty well. That gets all of that over there. Next up, though, is crops. Yes, I have to get the crops sorted down here. I've been looking at this, and it's not automated yet. For the time being, the dupes are actually coming in here, harvesting the crops, and then manually carrying them down here to this area. At which point that gets swept up. Ooh, I turned that off to do some the last of the planting, just to make sure everything was caught up to speed. But yeah, all the plants end up going in there, and then they get dropped across the rail, and they get sent down here to the cooking section. So what I need to do is I need to make some minor modifications here to make sure that this all gets picked up automatically. It is complete in all its glory. There is an awful lot of iron that went into this. All of these rails are made of iron ore. All the materials in here, like the conveyor loaders and the auto sweepers, they're all made of iron itself. And that is all being shoved across these rails, and all of them go down here. And this day, they get chucked onto the same rails that the pepper nuts are going on. All done. Completely automated. Oh, there's one last thing we need to do. We were going to disable harvest. We don't want to auto harvest these. We want to let them fall off the vine. No harvesting required. Should be the same down here. Except for... yeah, maybe they leave the reed fibers still going for a little bit longer. Actually, no, we don't need them. The polluted water will get vented into space if we don't need it. And there we go. That is all of the farming automated. We should never have to worry about doing any of that again. And why are you still farming? You should... did I miss one? Nope. Better well. Must have just been orders they had still locked up. So that will take care of all the automated farming needs. Then it should just be a case of sealing this room in. Though I might want to get the pips out first, because the pips will lay eggs, critters will die, they'll leave behind bodies, the bodies will rot, and polluted oxygen will get in here. Though, you know what, wouldn't cause an issue, but let's move them somewhere safer, somewhere more out of the way, somewhere where they won't cause as many issues. Here will be fine. Actually... I want to keep them around for later. Yeah, let's check them right here. Most of the pips are being moved. I think we're fairly safe on that front. We've also got a whole bunch of artifacts I should probably use for decor purposes, but that could wait a little bit longer. There's a couple of other minor issues we have to take care of before we consider this place fully automated. Well, one, I should really put in some doors here. Yes, I'll put in some doors, but you notice these are starting to get stifled up here. The temperature leaked in. I put in these double liquid lock stints to help prevent any more temperature getting in. But yeah, the temperature got in just a little bit up there at the top. It went up to 10, 16 degrees in places. The rest of it's fine. You can go all the way over here and it's, minus 14. I think I just maybe need to dump some more cooling in here. Ooh, what might be an idea is just to dump in some carbon dioxide. Yeah, we have absolutely lots of carbon dioxide and it's very cold. This will be a sweep-only carbon dioxide drop-off. Just to see what happens. I'm going to dump in about 25 tons and see what it does to the surrounding area. Dumped in 18 tons of CO2. Seems to be chilling the place down. Even if it does pop to gas at some point, it won't affect the sleep. The sleep doesn't mind being in carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, polluted oxygen, all are fine. That might be a lot of pressure. You know what? We can worry about that if the time comes. For the time being, that's definitely going to inject more than enough cooling. Perhaps too much. I might have to start injecting some heat to counteract it later on. It might get them so cold it stifles the sleet wheat. But that is all of the farming done. The farming is completely automated. We never have to touch it. In fact, we're going to stick doors on this and lock them so that no one can get in or out. Yeah, we're going to make this done. Farms all finished. Everything completely automated. Duplicant-free labor, or duplicant labor-free. Next up, there's these. The steam vents. I was going to build steam vent tamers and tame them and all that. And I thought, wait, why? I have more than enough water to just not care. And instead, I'm just going to brick them up. It's less effort to brick them up than it is to tame them. We have so much water and power, it really makes no difference. We can do whatever we like, however we like. And wow. God damn it, Ren. You are just so dumb. Oh, that's right. Do the second one just to make sure you doubly wall yourself in there. You muppet. Dear Lord. Fine. Once these two are walled in, we should have a nice easy game of it. There's nothing really left to worry about. At that point, it's just all putting in recreational buildings. Done, dusted, finished. All of those, not going to be a problem anymore. And in that instance, we don't need this liquid tank anymore, so that liquid tank can go. We're just, oh, how is that already blocked up? How? Polluted water, 33 grams. Oh, there's not enough polluted water. You know what? Just with the funky way water mechanics works, let's maybe take another layer off of that. I just want to get this, I want to get this tank empty. There's no purpose for it now that the steam vent is finished. There it kind of goes faster. You know what? I'll call that a win. I'll probably have to do some spill mop-ups along the way. Some of it will get in on the edges. I don't know what the exact mechanics of this are, but sometimes you'll just find blobs that manage to make their way onto the edges of the edges or the lips of buildings. Oh, and a big thank you as well, but I can't remember who it's to. When I last did one of these farms, someone pointed out a much more efficient way of doing things by putting the auto sweeper right here, putting it in between. This manages to get it to harvest 12 crops at the same time. This was a huge upgrade. Normally, I would just have one above here, and I would have had one of these on every level, only able to harvest 6. This doubles how much crops you can harvest for the single auto sweeper and a single loader. It just saved so much resources. It literally halved the amount of resources it took. Well, not quite. There was a little bit on the edge, but it pretty much halves the resource requirements to build one of these setups. Can't remember who sent it to me for the life of me, and can't find it in the comments thread. It's just too hard to search the comments and find anything specific. But they sent me a picture of how to do it, and yeah, thanks very much for that. That was just a lifesaver. All of that's done. We've got our cooling in place. You know what? Let's check that cooling again. I want to see if it's getting out of control yet. Nope, minus 13. Yeah, that's perfectly normal. It'll creep up a bit. Yes, we need to put in lots more recreational buildings, and we're going to start with the one thing I have never installed in any of my bases ever, the one recreational building or the one morale building that I just have refused to use. We're going to do plastic beds. Look at these monstrous things. They are ridiculous. They take up twice the space of a normal bed, and you get +1 morale. Twice the space? Oh, I could cram all of that with more decor. It's just going to take up an enormous amount of space to fit all of these in. Though, yeah, I'm going to have to... Nope, not there. We got to make sure we still get the bedroom bonus. Actually, can I get rid of the bedroom bonus now? How much of a bedroom bonus are they actually getting? No, we're going for maximum morale. We have to keep all the bonuses we possibly can. Look at this. An entire floor dedicated to it, and I can only fit in half as many beds. I don't like it. I just don't like it. What's the weather like outside? Wow, it's actually much cooler outside our base than inside. You know what? Let's invest in some diamond window tiles here. We can equalize the temperature, and at the same time, I can put some more statues up there. We've managed to get our hands on more diamond because our rockets, of course, have been going back and forth to these close by planets, and we've got lots and lots of diamond that way. Just, one of the benefits of running masses of rockets all the time. Hey, that will be the bedrooms. That will be 8 of the bedrooms taken care of. Now I just got to, do 40 of 32 more and somehow squeeze them into this base that was not designed for it at all. Retrofitting. I hate it. Yeah, no matter what way I squeeze this, I'm never going to fit in the beds properly, so we're going to need an extra floor. Expanding from the inside out is, well, not as easy. Well, we're just going to brick it up, and then we're going to delete the blocks from the inside. We delete the blocks from the inside, then that means, well, yeah, we get where we want to go, and there's no gases get in. A simple and efficient way to expand out for more space. Well, okay, maybe not efficient, but it's definitely simple. Cuts down on the amount of complications. Will the oxygen get in there? It's going to be a little bit tight to breathe at first, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Once it gets oxygenated up, you'll be good. And as well as that, should we make more space in there? You know what? Maybe let's give them a tiny bit more breathing room. Just a tiny bit. We'll skip it forward while we get into some more beds, or get in the last of the bedrooms. And it is done. Everything in. We've got 30 beds made of 30 comfy beds in. Yeah, they're going to have +1 morale from all of that work. Now it's time to get into the other recreational buildings. Where are these things hiding? Yeah, let me have a look-see. Wait. Before we start adding in the new buildings, we want to do a quick check. We want to be at least a little scientific about this. So first up, I just want to count up all the morale, how much each of my duplicants has, and then figure out what the average is. The average morale amongst all my duplicants, if you add it all up and divide it by the number of dupes, is 45.4. So 45.4 is the average. We want to see how much higher we can get that as we put things in. So when it comes down to doing this, I'm going with the rule of 4. Rule of 4 will be because of how I've set up my scheduling. You'll notice that I have 4 dupes on each schedule. Some of them are, of course, in rockets, so they don't really count. But having 4 dupes in each schedule means for their downtime, they're going to need to have, 4 buildings so that all of them can use it at the same time. Same as with the toilets. Which reminds me, I am going to rip out all of these toilets. Yep, these can all go. Oh, not the automation. Behold the horror, as I have installed showers, something which I consider generally a waste of time. The amount of time it takes, plus the water and all that, early game, it's just not really worth it, the cost in water. I know this is controversial to some people, but it costs you water through. True, you can turn it into polluted water and all that, but the morale bonus is not really worth it, plus the time wasted actually taking the showers. I just don't consider it a worthwhile investment. However, we are trying to make our dupes as comfortable as possible, and they haven't had a shower since they were created. So, they're probably a little bit ripe. So everyone gets to have a bit of a shower and clean up. The great thing is, though, their plumbing is the exact same as toilets and sinks, which means they just effectively plugged in the exact same way. I didn't even have to redo any of the piping. It's perfect. I don't think that will overflow my water system. My water system should definitely be able to handle that. Let's hope. Let's hope. It should be fine. Anyways, that's 4 showers. We've got 4 toilets. We've got everyone their beds. Now it's time to try and get into the recreational building side of things. I'm thinking first thing we're going to go with is coffee machines. So we need to stick in 4 espresso machines. I think, somewhere near the exits. Let's, when people are leaving in the morning, they're going to want to have their coffee. So we'll put in 4 coffee. Oh, is that out of lead? We are not making those out of lead. Oh God, no. Remember, we're going into high-end colony stuff here, so we're probably going to go with something a little bit more befitting our duplicants. So gold. Yes, we will make our espresso machines out of gold because, of course, we are. How could you do it any other way at this point in the game? Yeah, let's set this up nice and neat. Ooh, one of the downsides I forgot about this is I have to put pinch of pepper nuts in them, and I've sort of locked those behind this Viscogel liquid lock. Well, I guess we're just going to have to allow dupes in. They'll get some wet feet debuffs, but I'm thinking with the sheer amount of morale bonus they're going to be getting, I don't think stress is going to become much of an issue. It's an annoyance. At the time being, we don't really care anymore because sleet wheat grain and all that will all end up in there. The only downside would be meat. We're going to have a problem with that. Oh, what did it? They're able to wander through and just out the other side. That's going to cause problems. Maybe we should set this to, no one's allowed out that way. That way you should only go in to get the pepper nuts. That works well enough. It'll be a little bit messy them getting the pepper nuts out, but everyone is now getting their caffeine fix. That is going to be some extremely souped up duplicants. Oh, you're tired? You could use a nice nap? Well, that's fine. Where's your bonuses? Let's have a look. Would you look at that? Drank espresso +4. Perfect. 4 shift breaks. The shower as well. Bedroom giving +2. Okay, that's coming along nicely, but we can do better. We can do a lot better. There's a lot more buildings we can get to play around with in here. Do I have the space? Maybe not, but I figure we can add on another 3 floors down here if we want to and vacuum it out. I might want to start getting around to that now, actually, because it's going to take a little bit of time to vacuum out this whole area. Well, that very slowly drains out all the hydrogen in there. That's going to take a while. We have a few things we can get going on with. Now, we've got 4 espresso machines, but there's more recreational buildings available to us. I think the next one we're going to tackle is the soda fountain. I like the soda fountain because only 480 watts. We can stick 4 of them right beside the coffee machines, and that seems, pretty organized. No. Gold. Pure gold all the way. We've got 13 tons of the stuff left. Actually, is that? Yeah, they're pretty big machines. Okay, but we are going to need to put in water, and we're also going to need to put in carbon dioxide. How do we get the carbon dioxide into these things again? Is it a vent? No. So, where does the carbon dioxide go in? This got me last time, I think, as well. There's definitely a water section. I think they have to bring it in. You need a gas canister bottler, and they bring it in they bottle it up and bring it in gas canisters. And we're going to need to bring in a bunch of CO2. First, though, let's hook up the piping. So, power is being hooked up. Water is just going to be run off from the coffee machines. There should be plenty of water in there. That water is being drawn all the way from down here. It also feeds our oxygen production, and it's all being filtered from our giant centralized water tank. We really got to start consuming the water faster. Even with the steam vents turned off, the water just keeps rising faster than I can consume it. Unfortunate, but we'll find ways around that. No, but we still need carbon dioxide. And we're going to need to be able to provide that carbon dioxide in gaseous form. Unfortunately, all the carbon dioxide I have is solidified. We're going to need to find a way to melt that carbon dioxide and turn it into something functional. And there's an awful lot of it. I'm thinking we're going to throw together a little contraption down here. Whereabouts? Over here. So let's put together a contraption here for taking care of it. It's going to be something a little finicky. The best source of heat is always a liquid tepidizer. Always, there's just no excuses for that. So, let's make a steel liquid tepidizer. We got plenty for that. Of course, we'll have to insulate it. We don't want all of that heat leaking out. but we also need to have some way of transferring that heat, because we're going to start off with nothing but solid carbon dioxide. So I suppose supercoolant? Yeah, supercoolant in there to add a little bit of heat. Then we're going to need to drop all the carbon dioxide in here. We're going to need a lot of carbon dioxide. We're going to have to drop in all the carbon dioxide that we currently have in storage. Let me think. This is what I've come up with. Well, to start, we've got to load this up with carbon dioxide. So what I've done is put in an awful lot of automatic dispensers, all set to dispense the liquefiable carbon dioxide that we've got lying around the map. I put in as many of them as I possibly could to make sure they don't get overloaded and all of my duplicants can get in on the action. I don't want any idle duplicants wandering around the place. That would be, silly. So they're going to dump in a lot of carbon dioxide. An awful, awful, awful lot. How much have we got? Almost 1,500 tons of this stuff, which is plenty. Plenty of carbon dioxide. That should keep these going for... no idea, actually. What's the consumption rate on these things? I'll have to figure it out. We'll figure out how many we can work in a minute. But it's too cold. It's minus 232 degrees. That's why we've got this tepodizer down here. Once we're finished loading it up, we'll put in a layer of supercoolant, put in a gas pump, seal the whole thing in, and then turn up the heat. Eventually, all the carbon dioxide will melt and turn into gas. And it will be trapped inside a tiny little room. Which reminds me, I'm going to have to vacuum out the hydrogen first. All the little details. Anyway, yes, this should be ridiculously overkill, which is sort of the point. But, yeah, let's go for it and see how this works out. This is going to take them a while to move all the carbon dioxide over here. But to make things even simpler, I went with my traditional method of brute force. I may not have the smartest and most... I may not have the smartest designs, but I do have a nice way of doing things. Brute force and stupidity and throw lots of power at it. So I've installed a few... transport hubs down here. That way my dupes can get down here, grab the carbon dioxide, hop straight into these transit tubes and leaves. Though first they're getting rid of the carbon dioxide that's up there. There was quite a bit of it, actually. Also a bunch of liquid oxygen, chlorine, and other stuff I have to get moved. So we're going to get every single piece of carbon dioxide in the map and move it up for liquefaction. But yeah, we'll skip past that bit. We managed to move 1,500 tons of solidified carbon dioxide just using duplicant paws. That was kind of good. It's led to a little bit of a strange problem here, though. I've placed it on top of thermium tiles, put in some temperature shift plates behind them. The plan being we're going to, heat this area up and turn the carbon dioxide back into gas so we can pump it. Downside is it accidentally turned the little blob of oxygen that was around here into liquid, so we've found an extremely strange and roundabout way of making liquid oxygen. Just, that's something that happens, it seems. Temperature-wise, it's pretty cold around here. It's gone to the minus 60 mark. Oops. But it hasn't spread too far yet, so hopefully we can seal this up and be done with it. Time to tidy this up and get ready to activate this. Building completed, or strange contraption completed. We have an awful... Let's see if we can maybe get a... We have an awful lot of carbon dioxide in there. Frozen very, very, very solid. So it's now submerged in a layer of supercoolant, and we're throwing a tepodizer at it. The tepodizer is having a bit of a bad day. It's been on for a couple of cycles, and it has not made much of a dent. That carbon dioxide is simply laughing at it. There's just way too much mass in it. It's going to take ages for the tepodizer to break it. Oh, I just realized something. It's not going to flash to gas, is it? It's going to turn into a liquid first. All of that is going to turn into a liquid, and I'm going to have 1,500 tons of carbon dioxide liquid in this room, which will immediately shatter all the walls. I think we're going to reinforce everything. Yes. You know what? That's a good idea. Oh, I left some carbon dioxide up there. Damn it. It's not even 50 tons. We're not going to worry about it. I'll dump it back down in with all the rest of it. Yeah, we need to triple layer this. Triple layering is the only way we can prevent this from causing a massive explosion when it all converts to carbon dioxide liquid. I really hope I'm around when this hits its liquid stage, because when it does hit its liquid stage, it's going to compress this entire area. It's going to be odd. I think it should be fine with triple layering. So long as you have 3 layers of tiles around something, it can't overpressurize. I could have just put in airflow tiles if I had been thinking ahead, but I didn't. Now the question is, how long will that last? So if we check under... Wait, no, recreational buildings. We're looking for furniture, so... Yeah. Nope, not espresso machines. Soda fountains. Soda fountains use 1 kilo of carbon dioxide per use and 5 kilos of water. Quick bit of math with a calculator. This is not napkin math, but if you have 1,500 tons of... Wait, 100... Let me double check this. This number can't be right. Yeah, I feel like I'm carrying too many decimal points here or something. But anyway, if you have 1,500 tons of carbon dioxide, which we do, and you dump it in a box, and then you use that to feed 35 duplicant soda stream once a day, or once a cycle, it should last you for 42,857 cycles. So that's 42,000 cycles worth of carbon dioxide we've got in there. Now, I know that's not up to my usual standards of infinitely sustainable, but I figure I'm not going to play the game for another 42,000 cycles. Well, this map anyway, there's no way I could play that for 42,000 cycles. That's too much. Of course, it probably will take about 1,000 cycles before that freaking carbon dioxide heats up. I mean, look, it's 201.4 degrees Celsius. Let's see how long it takes. Oh, there we go. We've moved 0.1 of a degree. Eventually, that stuff will get to a point where it's pumpable. But, you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. While that was all going on, something weird happened. I ended up with a bunch of water on my map. I presume some ice melted, but then there's all this oxygen that came out of nowhere. Where did all this oxygen come from? Weird. Okay, well, that will eventually float down to... Wait, there's more over here. I have no idea. Okay, random oxygen is just now magically appearing on my map. That just makes no sense to me, but yes, that's what's going on now. A bunch of people in the comments suggested I turn on the anti-entropy nullifier just to generate some cooling up here. I thought, you know, why not? We've got power right there, so I effectively just threw a gas pump right here, and we're just dumping oxygen straight into it. Boom, problem solved. Though that oxygen wasn't here at the time, I still... How did that oxygen get there? Do I have... No, that's been switched off for ages. I am at a loss. There's nothing even up here that could do it. There's that down there, but that's all sealed in. This whole area is sealed up, though. I think this has frozen solid for some reason. And we have a bunch of... What the hell? Liquid chlorine in here. Okay. I'm not even sure the liquid chlorine got in there as well. Yeah, just odd stuff happening when I haven't been paying attention for long periods of time while working on all these projects. Anyway, next up, what was it? Oh, yes. Next up was I was getting very frustrated. We can put in arcade cabinets. That's a simple thing. A couple of arcade cabinets and a jukebox, and I think we're going to have to call it a day there. I need to start growing wood. I completely forgot. A bunch of these things require wood, and I've never grown wood on this map. Yeah, that's going to need to be done in the background. But we might as well get a couple more in and get some morale bonuses going. So I'm thinking 2 arcade machines, because arcade machines can handle 2 people each, so that's enough for 4. 4 people can dance at the same time, so we only need 1 jukebox. All pretty easy fixes. And then we just need a power wire to power it all. How much power do these things take? I think we can put them all on 1 wire, can we? No, it won't tell me. You know what? I'll wait until they're finished. Oh, wait. Trying to make them out of lead? Are you kidding me? There we go. All made out of gold. We'll hook that up to some power. I moved the power wires out of here. I'm going to be using this for even more entertainment purposes. I'm also going to need to grow several crops, it seems, looking at these things. Where was it? The juicer. The juicer is going to require me to grow up mushrooms, bristleberry, and meal lice. For the love of all that is holy, it also has a liquid intake pipe for water. That's going to be a lot of work. So yeah, well, I'll queue up all of those in the background. Wow. Okay, I'm going to need 3 power wires for this? That's 1200, and 960. What are you trying to do to me here? You know, I might just do a little bit of mixing and matching here and get these all powered up. All of these recreational buildings are only, well, semi-useful unless you give them enough downtime to use them all. And, well, it's time to get super nice to our duplicants. I already had them on 5 downtime slots, which is the most downtime I have ever given any of my duplicants. And that was only because during testing there was some other things that needed changing. But we're going to increase their downtime slots by a couple just to make sure they have plenty of time to enjoy all the amenities that are available to them. This may mess with some of the night shift, day shift people, but you know what? They just need happier lives. They're just going to have happier lives now. That will totally make up for any other negatives they get. Also, it'll drastically decrease productivity, but we don't care about that. They get to dance. I mean, look how happy they are. Also, we'll have to give it a couple of cycles, and then we'll have a quick check through on the happiness front and see how we're doing. Now, how is this looking over here? Minus 195. I'm pretty sure that was above 200 last we checked. So slowly but surely we're getting there. All we have to do is get it up to minus 56.5 degrees, and at which point it will turn into liquid. At that point, we'll still need to probably go another 20 or so degrees, but we'll be a lot closer then. At which point, these will kick in, the gas canister fillers. And once the gas canister fillers are full of carbon dioxide, that will allow us to run the soda fountains. But for now, we're just a little bit short on carbon dioxide, but that can be fixed. Oh, there they go, playing the video games. Excellent. I'm going to fast forward this a couple of cycles, and we're going to see how they work out on morale. A quick check on everyone's morale here under skills. I added it all up, divided by the number of dupes. Actually, I'll just scroll through it so you can have a quick look yourself. They're all well up into the 50s. The average score was 56. 56 exactly, not even a percentage point carried over. That means on average, the morale of all my duplicants has gone up by about 10.6 points. Not that great. It's okay. I can live with it. We've still got a lot more to go. Somehow we've accidentally ended up doing only the old stuff, all the old morale bonuses, because they all depend on power and nothing too complicated. We already had the pepper nuts for the espresso machine, water was easy, showers, all that stuff. So next up, we're going to have to do all the fancy ones or the newer ones from the recreational pack. This stuff over here, still going, 188 degrees, minus 188. Soon we'll have the juicer up and running. I have planted 4 trees in here because it's a nice temperature-controlled room and they're ready to go. I have dumped a bunch of water into them, so that should keep them going. Where is my water? Yeah, I think I'll turn this off for now. I made sure they've got plenty of water, so in about 8-10 cycles, I'm not sure, I'll start getting some wood in and we can start working on saunas. I'm thinking for the saunas, I might build in a block over here and then siphon steam out of the rocket silo. That might work. And yeah, the rocket silo seems to have broken again because the safety... people are referring to it as a fuse in the comments. I like that. The safety fuse burnt out. So yes, we need to replace the steel wire there. And then it was actually the one just to the left of it that burnt out. That one right there. So yeah, with the steel wire replaced, that should get this up and running again and that rocket should start launching. What's the temperature drop to? Oh no, it's dropped to 600 degrees. No. Oh, the horrors. Oh, and I figured out what caused that big explosion of oxygen. I was wondering where it all came from. I thought it had escaped out of here somehow. Nope. It came from this culprit right here. This is the storage bin where I was keeping my oxalite from my petroleum rockets back in the day. I dumped it underneath water so that it wouldn't off-gas. And of course, when I broke open this tank, all the water poured out, and then there's just this thin layer of water down here, which meant it all kept off-gassing. Even though the pressure around here was too high, it kept off-gassing. Several tons of oxygen just off-gas there. It'll eventually float down to the bottom of the map. We'll get rid of it. It will be fine. And I got to redo that rocket, that science rocket. Anyway, I think all of our dupes are much happier than they were when we started. We still have a lot of upgrading to do. I got to break into this bottom section here. We've still got to put in wind tunnels. We've got to put in the saunas. We've still got to put in juicers. I've got to make a growing area that has carbon dioxide in it to support all the plants this has. For example, I need, for the mushrooms, I need carbon dioxide, and bristleberries and meal lice also grow on carbon dioxide. So I'm going to have to make a temperature-controlled carbon dioxide room to grow all of those in them. The vertical wind tunnel, the beach chairs, yeah, we've got to do all of those. But that's next episode. Anyway, I hope you're mildly happy with how our duplicants have come along. I think they're going to have a very nice future ahead of them. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.